Growing up, there was a few houses that I was welcomed at as long as, I helped them steal a car or break into homes and things like that. I was about the age of 16. I was using methamphetamine at drug houses, and whatever can make me feel good right here and now, that's what I went for. To me, it was a thrill to kind of really be in these dangerous situations. When I got arrested, my first thought was, how am I gonna make sure I don't get caught next time? Because when I get out, I'm just gonna do the same thing. Right when they released me, wherever I went, in a group home, back to my house, or wherever, I was running. And I did. One time in particular, I had a warrant in Flagstaff, so I went out of jurisdiction to my res. Bought some dope, got some drugs and everything. Ending up stranded in the middle of the desert with a bunch of drug addicts. There's people that were openly doing witchcraft. And after all my drugs ran out, after my alcohol ran out, I remember being so depressed and so alone. I went to my dad's house, I knocked on his door, and he let me in. He left into town, so he left me at the house alone. And there was a Bible on the coffee table. Started reading it, and just started crying. I don't even know that I comprehended the Bible. I just was reaching out for comfort and realized that, I'm really alone. I was homeless, no education. It was 4 a.m, and I actually ran into my friend. I had been up all night. He had been up all night from the drugs and everything. I remember asking him, "Where are you staying at?" This pastor lived in the middle of my neighborhood. We all just called him Rev. My friend took me over to this house. Rev was there and just said, "Isaac, there's food in the fridge, there's a guest room." And he went and laid back down and went to sleep. Rev, he didn't judge me, he just took me in. And whenever I got arrested, in adult jail now, he would come visit me. There were times where I was arrested and started going to chapel while I was in jail. And they were like, "Here, take this flyer for this Christian rehab." And I thought, there's this guy, the Rev, who's been telling me about Jesus. And, I've went to a couple Bible studies in jail. And I told the Rev, "I'm thinking about going to this Christian rehab." And he said, "Isaac, that'll be the best decision of your life." But I was really hard-headed. In the back of my mind, I knew my cycle for years was get some money, maybe steal something, and just run away and get high. I remember I was angry. I just was angry about having to face responsibilities. And the morning that I was supposed to go, I remember waking up that morning and telling Rev, "I'm not going. I'm just not going." We hopped in his vehicle and we started driving to Flagstaff, which is the opposite direction. And my dad called out of nowhere, and the Rev was like, "Isaac doesn't want to go. He wants to go back to Flagstaff even though he's just going to get high and go back to jail." And we just pulled over and we sat in silence. I mean, it was probably just a few seconds, but it felt like it was, 10 minutes. And he prayed for me. And still feeling this frustration, I said, "Okay, let's go. Let's turn around." Going into this discipleship program, I was under authority. So there were staff members there. There were rules to follow. We had to read our Bible every day. So I started reading and kind of learning about what it's really like to follow Christ, what it means to surrender, what it means to die to your old ways. I was realizing that, This is all a part of it. This is all part of following Christ. Going to the Lord and saying, forgive me for falling short. And just that daily act, I think God was really working on my heart. I was experiencing real life change. I decided I'm just going to follow Christ no matter what happens. I just felt the peace of God just fill me in that time. It was such a weight that lifted off of me. When I first really surrendered to God, all I wanted was sobriety. I was so desperate just to have a regular life. And God really answered that prayer and exceeded it, and He's still exceeding it.
Isaac Durham.
I've been sober for 8 years. I graduated with a bachelor's and I'm studying for my master's. I have the privilege of actually having options, what kind of career I want to do, what kind of ministry do I want to start, and that's all because of the Lord. I want to be a good role model for younger people that were in the position that I was in. I was blessed to have Rev in my life because he was kind of an image of Christ for me. He's shown me what it looks like to have a genuine, sober, loving friendship, and really showed me no matter how hard life gets, God is still there.
I've had some of the hardest times after getting saved, and I had to face those situations sober. Overdoses, deaths. I can't go run to a joint, to a bottle. I can't numb it, but God's given me everything I need. He's filled those parts of my heart.
I would say don't let anything keep you from reaching out to Jesus. Even if you're struggling with a certain sin, God will still respond to your prayer if you ask Him to lead you. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for the perfect day. Just reach out to God and say a simple prayer.